So a key area of emotional intelligence, of course, as we've already discussed, is self-awareness, social awareness, and at the same time is checking our biases. So essentially, we call this unconscious bias, meaning that we're not going out of our way to prefer one person or department or group over the other. It's by default. So it's sort of ingrained in us. And many of us have what we call blind spots. So we don't realize that we're being biased. So the idea is that we want to check ourselves against ourselves. Are we being biased? Essentially, are we preferring an individual, let's say in the context of our team? So as a leader, do you have a preference toward one team member or the other? Now, if you do, it's human nature. There's nothing wrong with that essentially. Where it becomes challenging is when our biases start to impact our decision making, distort our ability to be objective, to see people for who they truly are, and or to see people's skills and acumen in terms of what it truly is. So often, of course, if we bias toward one person, we might not see the areas of improvement because we're only essentially focusing on all that is good about them. And so we call this the halo effect, when essentially one characteristic or trait or behavior overrides all the characteristics and traits and behavior of a person in favor of them. Hence the halo effect. On the other side is the horns effect, meaning that if we're negatively predisposed toward a particular individual, we might by default only focus on all that is negative about that individual and not see that there's potential, that they have strengths, because we only, or our brain is only focused on confirming its bias, confirmation bias, of the negativity. And so emotional intelligence requires us to say, am I being biased? Yes, I am. That's okay, but what am I going to do about it? Am I going to allow it to dictate my fairness, my ability to make objective decisions, like I said? And this heavily impacts performance evaluations and the performance reviews. So at the end of the day, self-awareness is step back, step into psychological or cognitive third party, and essentially be our own drone. So we're assessing ourselves against ourselves.